Hey everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Well, I'm going to start this video with a disclaimer. Not everything in this video should be taken too serious. It's meant to be fun and maybe bring you guys a little bit of holiday laughter. So let me start with this. If you haven't seen the YouTube channel Survive Anything, check it out. He just put up a video recently showing his new Get Home bag. And as part of that kit, he went out and bought himself a very nice large knife, and he's calling that his apocalypse knife. He said, this is the knife that I would carry with me into the apocalypse. Well, then he gave a shout out or a tag to me, Ochiko Bushcraft, and he said, hey, Ochiko Bushcraft, I would like to see what knife you would carry into the apocalypse. So today, I'm going to show you the knife that I would carry into an apocalypse and show you guys some apocalypse survival skills, what you can do with a real apocalypse knife. So if I had to go into an apocalypse, my choice is the ESEE Hungless 2, the way I have modified it. So my ESEE Hungless 2, I have canvas micarta handles from the Knife Connection, so I've got a really firm grip. I have removed the black coating, put on a patina. Actually, Mark at Sagebrush Customs did that for me before his passing. And a very sharp 90-degree spine that I can use for making fine shavings, striking a ferro rod, etc. So if I had to go into the apocalypse, the ESEE Hungless 2, my favorite survival knife, would be my apocalypse knife. Now, we're going to make an apocalypse fire here in just a minute. You need 3 things to make an apocalypse or apocalyptic fire. You need an apocalypse knife, a very large apocalypse ferro rod to throw big sparks, and right over here, you'll see in a minute, you're going to need a large apocalypse tinder bundle. But before we do that, if you're in an apocalypse situation, you should always carry with you a piece of fatwood. I've done this in my videos. I've talked to you guys about when you get out in the forest and you find some fatwood, put some in your pack, put some in your pockets. Carry fatwood with you at all times to help you in getting a fire going or sustaining a fire. Well, for an apocalypse situation, you're going to need an apocalyptic size piece of fatwood. So I just happen to have one in my pocket here. So let me dig into my pocket here and get this out for you guys. Okay, you don't want just a regular old small piece of fatwood. You're going to go into an apocalypse, you need apocalyptic fatwood. So let me get this out of my pocket for you. Come on. It's a little bit of a tight fit in there. Here we go. Yep. Oh. There we go. So it's a little bit tighter fit in your coat pocket to have a piece of apocalyptic fatwood than regular fatwood, but it's essential. You know, get yourself a nice big piece of apocalyptic fatwood. Just shove that right down in your pocket. Tight fit. Come on, get down there. Okay. Get that, carry that with you. So it's right here in my pocket, and I just reach in, pull it out when I need it, and I'm ready to go. I'll have myself an apocalypse fire. So let me move you guys, and we'll use those 3 items I just mentioned to get our apocalypse fire going. Okay, as I said before, to make an apocalyptic fire, it takes 3 things. You need an apocalypse knife, you need a very large apocalypse ferro rod, and you need an apocalypse tinder bundle, which is very flammable. So check this out. These 3 items, this is how you make an apocalypse fire. Are you ready? There you go. Instant apocalypse fire. So, with these 3 items, instant apocalypse fire. let's go on to our next apocalypse skill. Okay, so you got your apocalypse fire made. Well, you're gonna need probably to do some hunting and trapping to get food to go on that apocalypse fire that you've made. So we can go primitive using our apocalypse knife and do something like a nice spear. Put a point on that. And that's one thing about the ESEE Hungless or Hungless 2 that I like. Great spear makers. And there we go, just like that. We have a nice long primitive hunting spear. So I'm thinking with that fire we had, T-Rex steak would be a great apocalypse dinner. So I might go up here on the hill a little later, see if I can't get a T-Rex, bring it down and throw it on that fire. But again, ESEE Hungless 2, great knife for building primitive weapons. You're also going to have to do some trapping while you're out hunting that T-Rex. You know, they can be a little bit troublesome. They're quite the fighter, and it might take some time to get one down, get it field dressed, bring it back to camp. So in the meantime, you can have some traps set out. And ESEE Hungless 2 is a great knife for making carving traps. On a serious note, it's about close to 10 degrees out here, so it's cold. See if you guys can see me here. So even though it's a big knife, it's a great knife for carving very quickly. So I want to make a couple 7 notches that quick, that easy. I'll put one on another one, fasten it to this one as kind of a trigger, put this one down into the ground. I'll just sharpen up one end. And hammer that into the ground. Make another one of these, hook it up here, bend a limb over, set a snare, set some deadfalls, and let our traps do the work and our snares do the work while we're up on the hill field dressing that T-Rex. So I actually set one of these snares out earlier. Hang on, did you hear that? I got something. Hang on, I got something. I set a snare earlier. Hang on. Yeah. You just got to be proactive in an apocalypse situation, and you can get yourself fed out here. You don't have to always be out hunting T-Rex. Hang on. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. I set a spring snare earlier. Hang on. Yeah, it's dead. It's just hanging there. I want you guys to see this. So they're right there, hanging in that tree. See that? Walked right into my snare. I had a nice spring snare set here. Walked right into my snare. So I don't have to worry about it. I'm set for a while. I'll take this back to camp and cook it up and worry about hunting that T-Rex later. Nice. That's nice. All we got to do is be proactive when you're in an apocalypse situation. Get your traps out and your snares built. While you're out hunting, something like that wild spam gets caught in your snare, and you've got food. All right, on to the next apocalypse skill. Well, in a survival situation, if you've watched my videos, you know you're going to need primitive shelter if you're going to be out here in any kind of a storm, or you're going to be spending a lot of time out here. Obviously, in an apocalypse, you'd be out here for a long time. So the ESEE Hunglas 2 is a great knife for building primitive shelters. For example, you need some fir boughs to put a roof on your shelter, and for bedding. What better knife can you have for getting that material than an ESEE Hunglas 2? And just like that, you've got the start of the roof of a shelter and bedding, and that took all of what, a few seconds? Well, in an apocalypse situation, you're going to need a much bigger, much sturdier, long-term shelter. So let's go down over here and see what the ESEE Hunglas 2 can do for getting us an apocalypse shelter. All right. Well, if you see, there's a fallen tree behind me. This big tree. I just used my ESEE Hunglas 2 to fall that tree. Sorry, I should have recorded it for you guys, but it only took about 30 seconds to bring down this tree, and then I think 3 or 4 quick chops, and I split it into 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and chop this tree into lengths like so, like I did here. Shouldn't take me more than 10 minutes to chop this tree and a few more down and chop them into lengths and have up a full log cabin with a fireplace. So I'm figuring maybe 10 minutes I'll be sitting inside a full log cabin with a roof on it and fireplace. That's you know, when you have an apocalypse knife, just things out here become ridiculously easy. So building a cabin, you know, a nice big log cabin with a fireplace, 10 minutes. It's about average with a knife like this. I'm running out of time on the camera. Otherwise, you know what, I would just set you up and I'd go ahead and build that whole cabin for you guys in 10 minutes. But unfortunately, I'm running out of time. So sorry guys, we'll have to save that for another apocalyptic training video. Well guys, I hope you had fun during this little video. I just wanted to come out and I wanted to have fun today, and that shout out or tag that Survive Anything gave to me, I thought perfect opportunity to come out here, have some fun with my ESEE Hunglas 2, because every time I'm out here using it, it's a lot of fun. And to do something that maybe would just, you know, bring some laughter or holiday cheer to you guys. So I hope you laughed and had a good time. On a serious note, I have almost 200 survival videos up on my channel with real survival skills in them. In fact, I think I have 6 volumes up now on a very serious series that I've been making for lost hunters and outdoorsmen, which search and rescue has to come out here every year during weather just like this and rescue. from fire making to shelter making, signaling, etc. I've done that series to teach basic skills to keep you alive and help you get rescued. I've got a lot of bushcraft videos where I've come out and done more primitive skills and done Dakota hole fires, done lean-to shelters, and flint and steel fires, different snares and things, and so there's a lot of stuff on there that for those of you who want more than just a laugh, but you'd like real survival training. Like I said, almost 200 videos. So check those out. I do recommend all ESEE knives. As far as I'm concerned, they're the best knife that I have ever used, and the ESEE Hungless 2 in a real survival situation. God forbid, in all seriousness, a real apocalypse situation, this is the knife I would carry, and it is the knife that I carry out here all the time, and it is an absolute workhorse, and I can chop and chop and chop and build fires and build shelters and still shave my arm with it, and I've been doing it for years. So highly recommended. Shout out to the Knife Connection for their canvas micarta handles, which really give you a great grip. I mean, things get wet, snowy, and these things just grip like crazy. Shout out to the guys at Bushcraft Outfitters. They have that 8-inch monster or apocalypse ferro rod. That thing is amazing for throwing sparks, and I would highly recommend you pick up a couple for stocking stuffers and one for your own pocket. Use the code OCHCO to get a discount on all your survival gear purchases there. Other than that, I plan on doing a video here fairly soon showing some of my favorite winter survival gear. So you'll see the ferro rod and the knife again in that video. But guys, again, in all seriousness, stay safe out there. When you go out into a situation like this, and I got stuck out here last year. I went way up in the mountains and I got in too deep of a snow and my pickup slid to the very edge of the road, and I was in a real survival situation. So make sure that you have the survival gear. Right now, 10 degrees, snowy, cold, fire is your #1 survival resource. Make sure you got the stuff with you, tinder and like cotton batting with Vaseline or some other kind of commercial fire starters to get you a fire going. Make sure that you're properly dressed. I have 3 layers of wool on underneath my M65 jacket, wool cap, wool gloves. So make sure you're dressed appropriately, that you have gear with you in case you end up having to stay the night, and especially the things you need to get a fire going, which will help aid in your rescue as well by putting up a lot of smoke. So stay safe out there. Guys, I know it's a few weeks away till Christmas, but I pray you all have a Merry Christmas. Take care from Ochiko Bushcraft.